Our Screen Team show is almost over for this evening, but we've got one more review to do for you this evening. And, of course, we are all over social media. We want to invite you to check out the Screen Team on Facebook, Twitter. We also have our very own YouTube channel where you can check out videos of our reviews and check out our website, too, screenteampb.com. Now that that's out of the way, time to introduce our reviewer for this evening. We've got Toby in the studio. Toby, so good to see you.
Hi, how you doing?
Wonderful. We're going to be talking about a movie that came out a few months ago, and it's called A Dog's Purpose. And this movie, but before we talk about the movie, let's talk about you. You are a dog lover, correct?
I am. I'm a dog mom. I have a herd of 4.
Okay, what do you have?
Now.
What do you have?
I have let's go in the order of age here. I have a Sheltie, Shetland sheepdog. I have a golden retriever. I have a German shepherd, and then I have a mix. We don't know what she is. She's a rescue.
I don't know if it's like this for you, but for me, with my dogs, they're like my kids.
They're
You know?
I only got to have one son.
Yeah.
So I replaced that mothering with my girls.
Yeah.
And exactly, they are like my children, and in fact, my son says I treat them better than him sometimes. But they are very, very special. They're an integral part of my life, and always have been growing up.
So you love dogs. Are you a fan of dog movies? Do you like?
Normally I do. Yes. And I tend to. There's the T-shirt I'm sure you've seen on Facebook memes that says, "I don't care what happens as long as the dog doesn't die."
Yeah.
Sadness is one of those things. I know it's part of life, but it's rough. But I do love animal movies of all kinds.
Yeah, I do too. Sabrina is notorious for she doesn't like watching dog movies because, like you say, something happens at the end.
Inevitably. Yeller, it makes me a puddle.
Yeah,
yes.
We were watching Marley and Me, and spoiler alert, at the very end, something happens, and I look back and she's crying. I'm like, oh, man. So we don't get to watch too many dog movies at home for that kind of reason. But A Dog's Purpose, a new dog movie to theaters. What's the basic concept of the movie?
The basic concept is, like most people are, we are trying to find our purpose in life. Why are you here? And why, and this is what the whole premise of the movie is the dog is trying to find why he was put here on this earth. It's kind of a Buddhism type thing. Yeah. And he keeps coming back until he discovers that purpose.
Is he like reincarnated into different dogs?
He is. In fact, I think there's 5 different incarnations of this we'll call him Bailey because that's the main personality that he takes. But you see this dog going through each purpose until he tries to find exactly why he was put here on this earth.
So does the film kind of follow the exact way the trailer is? In the very beginning, you see a dog with a young boy, and they have this connection together.
Yes, that is the premise. The very first incarnation will take you by surprise, and we'll go into that in a minute. But yes, he does. He is adopted by a little boy named Ethan, and you watch Ethan's family evolve through Bailey's eyes. And what he's watching as to what's going on with his family, and the family kind of has a breakdown. Yeah. But he goes from Ethan is probably 6 or 7, until Ethan leaves for college. Or actually, Ethan has gone to college. And you see that progression through that dog's eyes.
In the trailers, it kind of shows that these two might meet up again in the second or third act.
The last act.
Yeah.
And that was when Bailey found his purpose.
Okay.
But you do have a couple incarnations in between there that he finds a different purpose that maybe he was put here through those incarnations. Yeah. And just different aspects, as everyone does of even a human life. There are different things that go on. You don't have one purpose, and that's kind of what the point was being made with those other incarnations.
So we got the basic plot of the movie down. What I'm curious about is your experience watching the movie. You're a dog lover. You were telling me that you had an array of emotions throughout that movie.
I did. Being emotional and being a dog lover, halfway through the movie, I thought I was going to have to get up and leave because it was so hard to watch. Marley and Me, I cried. I relate with this movie. I audibly sobbed.
Yeah,
I had people staring at me, but they were sobbing too. It hurt. I mean, the pain was absolutely to the point I honestly thought halfway through I'm going to have to leave because I can't watch this. Yeah. Because in that incarnation, Bailey was a golden retriever. I have a golden retriever.
Yeah.
The next incarnation, Bailey was a German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd. And I guess, you're putting those emotions. But the way it's handled is very tasteful. It's very real. Mm-hmm. And having to put a dog down before, I relived that to the nth degree. But there's just as many smiles and laughter in the movie, too. So I won't say don't go see this if you're a dog lover, you don't want to do this, but be prepared for an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go through that.
I'm curious, I haven't seen this film, but watching previous dog films, Old Yeller, Marley and Me, is the talent of the dog actors in those movies.
Oh, yes.
What about this film? Were the dogs pretty extraordinary?
The emotions that the dogs were
conveying
on the screen were, yes, very much so. And I want to put my own little disclaimer in. Yes, I saw the hoopla with PETA that put on, and I knew the scene. It's one scene. It's an integral scene in the movie. I took that with a grain of salt because I know PETA does everything overboard. Maybe I don't agree with the way that was filmed, but it was a necessary part of that film.
Yeah.
I did watch the video. I didn't like it, but I know actors get put through things, and that's part of the job. The dog was not harmed. He was scared, but he was not harmed.
Yeah.
So don't let that small twist keep you away from this movie. Okay. The actors in the movie, the dog, yes. And there's a little corgi that's so cute. But you have that personality going through each time. And when he wakes up, he's like, oh, okay, what am I this time?
Yeah.
And it's really, really well done. Very well done.
After the emotional experience you had with this movie, is this a movie that you like to see over and over again? Or is once enough?
Once enough for me. Mm-hmm. Because I don't do sadness well. I don't do and the ending is fantastic. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It has a happy ending. Everything comes together in full circle. I watch movies for escape, and I don't want to go through that emotional roller coaster again, because it was hard for me, especially when they were putting the dogs down, because I've had to do that, and I don't deal with it well.
Yeah.
But if you are looking for something that it has a depth to it, but still has a happy, because you're going to laugh at a dog. Dogs do silly things, and he's the first to figure out why he keeps chasing his tail. But it's fun. I don't know why, but I like this. And there's a scene where he's trying to teach the cat. They have a cat in the family. I want to teach him to be a dog. He thinks he should be, they're just hilarious. But you're seeing not only Bailey's progression, but the progression of Ethan's family. And this family falls apart and implodes. And like I said, there's such a depth to this movie beyond just the surface. There's a lot of different levels to this movie. I'm going to go back and read the book.
Oh, it's based on a book?
It's based on a book.
Wow.
I think the author is W. Bruce Campbell. Mm-hmm. He's written a couple of books, and it's based on a real story. Or, the family story of it and what he imagines through this dog's eyes. I'm going to go back and read the book.
One last question for you. If you're not a dog lover, or, you don't own dogs, can you still enjoy this movie?
I would think so. You may not get the emotional depth that a dog lover does, but the storyline is fantastic. And if you're a philosopher in any way, you're going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
What he goes through, like I said, each incarnation to try to find out what his purpose in life is. And I think we all go through that, even as humans. Why am I here? What am I doing here?
I think about it
Squirrel.
every day. Yeah. Every day, man. Toby, thank you for being on the show.
Not a problem.
The movie's called The Dog's Purpose. Coming up next week, we've got another edition of the Screen Team for you. Movie reviews done locally. And remember, we want you to know before you go. For Toby and Chris, we are the Screen Team on KWOC.